Hello and welcome back to Two Labs Garage. This old John Deere 318 right here is a lawn tractor that I have revived about a year ago this time, and it had been abandoned for approximately 20 years. Anyway, long story short, I used it for most of last summer, trouble-free for the most part, but right towards the end of the season the starter went out on it. And well, when that happened, I just used the other mower that you can hear running in the background. My wife's cutting the grass with the other one. That one's got its own set of issues, but that's another video. So anyway, I'm going to get the starter changed on this 1987 John Deere 318 and show y'all how it's done so I can tear into the other one and do some major work. Oh boy. Alright, this is future me interjecting here. Doing the starter on this thing, let's just say some mistakes were made. There are some things that are real easy to mess up when you're doing one of these mowers, changing the starter. And I made the mistakes, and I actually considered just chopping this video, forgetting it. But I decided, you know what? We're all supposed to learn from our mistakes. Maybe beneficial if some of y'all could learn from mine. So I'm going to embarrass myself a little bit, but I'm going to show y'all what can go wrong, and hopefully it won't go wrong for you. We're still going to pull this off. I always shoot straight with y'all, and I try to give it to you from a novice perspective, because if you're looking up how to change a starter in one of these, you're probably like me, hadn't done it before. So let's get back to it. Past me is in for some surprises. First thing I'm going to have to do is get the side panel off. Go ahead and show you. Alright, down here, there's the starter. And this one's got one of those Onan engines in it. So I'm hoping I can figure out how to get this thing out, because, well, they didn't make it easy. You got that oil filler tube in there. Yeah, I'm not sure how this is going to go, but I will figure it out. Alright, so I went ahead and removed the heat shield. Bolts there, along there. To try to get this filler tube out.
Hold up, removing the filler tube is not necessary.
I'm just looking at the way this thing goes in there. See if you can see that. But I'm really hoping I'm not going to have to pull this engine. Really don't want to pull the engine, change the starter. But we'll do what we need to. I'll show you just in case you're wondering. Removing the filler tube for the oil does not get you better access. And that's unfortunate. But I'm showing you this just so you can see and you can know. Knowledge is a good thing. Alright. Did a little research, got some news. And it's not the news of a good variety. Engine's got to come out. This is from a designer that came up with this. Anyway, I'm going to have to take the hood off, the side panels, the cables, the wires, jacking his beanstalk and everything else, get the motor out to change the starter. You ever heard of such? Now one thing I am going to try to do, just see if I can pull the engine forward and not have to disconnect everything under the sun. I'm going to give it a shot. I don't know how this is going to go. Have to get this belt off. And wire goes to the starter. It may not be red on yours because this one's been spliced in at some point. Got two bolts up here, 1/2 inch. I'm just either going to need a deep well or an extension. Well, I was wrong. That's probably 9/16. I think I'm going to need a swivel. Okay, after trial and much error, finally got a bolt out. As you can see, I've jacked it up. And these bolts are stubborn, but what worked on that one, I imagine will work on this one. So I got a vice grip on the bolt from the top, and from up underneath, got 11/16 socket, long extension impact. Alright, so I got the back bolts out. They're 15 millimeter, but there's no nuts on them, just bolts. I'm hoping I got enough disconnected now I can slide the engine a couple inches forward and rotate it so the left side is up.
Alright, be extra careful how far forward you pull that engine, because you may end up accidentally disconnecting the drive shaft.
There we go. See, block of wood probably. Yeah. Alright, so I got to pull forward a little bit, and I got this piece of OSB holding up at an angle. And there's two bolts at the top, 13 millimeter or ½ inch, I guess. Thing's a mile long. What now? Uh-oh. There we go. Alright, got them out. Old one, new one. Compare, yep, they look the same. It's a good thing. Now when I looked these up, I saw two starters. One had the solenoid, one didn't. I got one that matched. And this thing was a bear to get out. I would consider next time, do a little more research first, but getting the one without the solenoid and taking a Ford solenoid like this one and mounting it here, because I think it would make it a whole lot easier to get the starter in and out. But I'm not sure. I hadn't tried this. It's just a theory, but something to consider. So anyway, before I put it in, I'm going to go ahead and hook up the battery. Alright, now let's see if we can't get this dumb thing in here. Okay, so camera battery died, but we got the starter back in. Bolts back connected. Wire back on. And the little ignition wire, well, I still got the thing a little easier to get to. I'm gonna stick that on. Alright. And then that thing's gonna be for me a yank that board out, put the engine back. But I'm gonna have to put you down because I need my hands. Alright, so the old John Deere is reassembled, kinda. Everything that's not still on it is cosmetic. So if it doesn't work, I don't have as much to take back apart. But it seems like a good time to give it a try. Alright, so I had a little difficulty getting it to start yesterday, so I called it a day. I came out today, and it fired up. That was the good news. The bad news is it vibrated like dickens. I wonder if maybe I blown the engine, because I could hear metal clanking and everything. Try to show you all this, if I can. That drive shaft down there just came out. So I'm gonna have to probably pull the whole body off this now and recouple the drive shaft. Yeah, that's one thing you're gonna want to make sure of when you slide that engine forward, is that you don't knock the drive shaft out. Great. Now to do that, this main body, there's a bolt there. Definitely one there. I don't know if those seat bolts actually hold it to the frame or not. I'm kind of gonna hope not, but if I gotta remove them, I gotta remove them. There's one there, and there's one there. All right, I got those 4 1/2 inch bolts removed. See what happens. wires to the taillights. Unplug them. Also got the seat plug undone. Oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my. What have I done? Probably should call this video how not to do it. Because there's the U-joint that came off. Has beaten the tar out of that filter vat even though it was there. So I guess it's a good thing. I need to change that. This is what's concerning me. What goes there? How do I fix it? Jeez. Oh boy. All right, well, we definitely know. Gotta check on that drive shaft. All right, so I got that filter off. And I guess maybe in a way this was a blessing in disguise because I didn't know that thing existed before. But I'm taking off figuring, okay, I gotta go figure out what this is and go get one. Find a part number, that always helps. But I get it out and I get to looking at it, I'm like, this thing looks familiar. And I just ordered some filters from my Dodge trucks over there. I'm thinking, huh, what is this? That's the same. That's the same. So I went and took my sliding scale. And would you look at this? The only thing that could be different is thread pitch, but I'm willing to take a chance. So just in case you're looking for a cheaper option to change this, there's the crossless section. And this is just something I got off Rock Auto. So anyway, that's a bonus. All right, so since I last worked on this, I managed to track down the part. Not the easiest thing to find. It's not available in just any old auto parts store hydraulic. You gotta go like a hose place, something like that. I ended up getting mine from Hampton Rubber. They were great to work with. But nonetheless, since then, it has rained, and it has rained, and it has rained. And it has rained, and it has rained, and it has rained. If it wasn't raining, I was sick. I've had strep throat. But enough about that. As you can tell, I'm doing much better now. But some time has passed. Nonetheless, we still got more to fit. All right, so first order of business, I really didn't want to work in that wet spot where it was parked. So I moved it up here, put on some ramps, how I got it there. So anyway, dig in, we gotta replace this fitting that was right there. And just so you know, it's hitting that line right there. See if I can get the thing to focus on the line and not me. And now it's hitting that nipple. So I gotta get that nipple off. Then I can put this T on here, then reconnect that line, and hope that the rest of these lines down here aren't too badly damaged. God, I hope they're not. All right, new fitting is in. Now this right here is like a compression washer in there. This fitting is a little bit of a booger to get in, mainly because you got to tighten that nut. I did find it was advantageous to come up from the bottom to tighten it, but I don't know, it's 11/16. I'm not gonna lie, this line right here I'm a little concerned about because I do feel kind of a sharp edge. I'm hoping it isn't blown, but worst case, I gotta replace it, you know? Oh dear. This is one of these things where I'm gonna hope for the best. But where that goes is the front bucket attachment, which I don't use. So if it's crimped off, I'm not really concerned about it. If it's leaking, I'll deal with that when I come to it. But as for now, I need to put the nipple back in there and reattach that line so I can reattach these lines. All right, at long last, everything is back together. There's a little bit of a booger getting that one banged up line back on there, but I got the other one's a flex line. That didn't challenge me too much. So anyway, all that's reassembled. Now I just gotta get drive shaft back on. And also, wrench slipped and I accidentally hit that switch and broke it. So yeah, I gotta go get another switch. And this thing's a gift that keeps on giving. So anyway, now gotta take the engine back loose. All right, so same thing as before. Belt off. What did I say that was 11/16? Now dropping this was unintentional, but it is helpful. Alright, this right here is where I made the critical mistake the first time. Alright, it's time to fix the mistake. Rip the band-aid off. Pull the engine forward. Shock your wheels. Alright, so got the shaft on there lined up. Really hope I got it right. But I'm going to start taking the engine, sliding it back just a little bit, go back and forth and check. Still got about a ½ inch back to go, so maybe a little more. Mother! Fell out. Well, it went back easy at least. We're in the wrong spot. Jiminy Christmas. Make sure when you slide your engine back, you don't lose your coupling. Oh, I think that's it. Yes, yes. Okay, at last we have couplage. Now to bolt the engine down. All right, it's a new day. Went to AutoZone this morning, picked up a new switch. Unfortunately, I'm going to lose the little green light bills this one had. I mean, it was cool, but it wasn't worth driving all over town cool. So anyway, the one I got I think is a little more durable. So that's fine. Go ahead and get this retaining nut off. Yeah, too bad I broke that one. Yeah, I think this one's a whole lot more durable. All right, so the old terminals have these spade clips. The new one uses these screws. They're not going to work together. At least I don't think they will. Look at changing them out. Evidently, when I initially fixed up this mower, I was still electrical taping stuff. I hadn't gotten into heat shrinking. That's okay. Terminal's a little overkill, but it'll work. And this is a 35 amp switch, so it's ample to handle the load of being pretty much the master of the mower. Now, I actually do enjoy fishing when it involves catching fish. Fishing wires, not so much, but we do it. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so that's on. flip it to the off position. Now I guess it's about time to put the battery back in. We hit. Now let me go see if I can't round up the keys, see if old girl will fire. Alright, so she runs, but none of the body work's bolted back on yet. Obvious the front cowl area is still off. So I just figured before I put everything back together, let's change the oil. Alright, so I wrote the date on it last time. 3/18/23 was the date. Today's 3/8/24, so we're almost exactly at 1 year. Gonna be a little bit of a bear. Tends to make a mess, but yeah, what do you do? If you got a better suggestion on catching the used wool with this setup, put it in the comments. See, what did I use the last time? Black filter. That was a Napa Gold. It's a pretty good filter actually. And that wool is black. Alright, so this time I'm going to be using a STP 3614. Now, a little hack for doing pretty much any mower is the oil filters for 1998 Saturn. I'm sure some other things, but 98 Saturn's the reference I always use. It's the same thing. The small engine filters that they had, the Briggs & Stratton and the John Deere's and all, 15-20 bucks a piece. This was $5. I suppose taking this piece of shielding off here would probably help me get to it better, but I'm good with this. I'm confident that's tight enough. Alright, so 3/8/24, and we are using 30 weight, because that's just what I use in air-cooled engines. I use single viscosity. Now if you wonder why I have a piece of garden hose zip tied to the frame, bet you find out. In this socket you'll find that out too. That is because it's difficult to get the oil to drain where you want it. So I made this up under here, up and over the drain thing. What idiotic design. I'm sure it's got good reason, but I don't like it. And that will route the old oil into the pan. Now there's supposed to be a pin inside that valve that I'd taken this old socket, a 9mm that I hadn't hardly used for anything. It wasn't in too good a shape, and I cut a notch in it to go over that. I have the pins come out at some point. So I gotta come up with a new pin. Alright, so I've had a little Phillips head screw. Go try to use that for a pin if I can get it in there. Just go try anyway. There we go. It is working. Then maybe I could get a better angle to tighten that screw a little more. Yeah, that works. Why am I showing me working through all this? Because I know some of y'all aren't interested at all. I've had some people contact me and say, hey, I really enjoy watching you work through a problem. Alright, while I'm waiting for the oil to drain out, it's trash day. Side of the road, somebody had some old metal shelves, wire shelves, out there for the trash man. I beat them to them. Now, my plan for this is, you may notice the grill's missing on this tractor. And I'm not willing to go pay the money for a new grill. I don't see where it serves much purpose. But I'm not past making one out of a free wire shelf. So, alright. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any John Deere green paint. I got some yellow, but I think that might make it look even tackier. So, got plenty of black, I'll use that. Alright, just for grins and giggles, before I got busy painting that grill, decided just look in my stash and see what I had. I got this cheap stuff. It says it's Kelly green, but that is awful close to John Deere green. Close enough, I'm going to paint the grill with it. Now let's put this whole hood back on. Okay, so I got the hood bolted back on. Now I want to put this grill on it. Now this thing here is just a hollow piece of metal. And I got some self-tapping roof screws, but I'm not sure they're long enough. They might be. So anyway, gotta go ahead and start holes in there. Right here. Put one on each side. Alright, so I got my holes started. Now I want the thing to be here to keep, you know, things out of the clutch and things not to get too hot and burned. But I also don't want it to rust against this muffler and melt all the protective coating that's on there in my thing of 20-some-year-old dollar store paint. So I'm just going to go here. Yeah, it would be nice to have a little longer screw, but this will do fine. I hope. Lord, I hope. Rob the jewelry store told him, make me a grill. Boom, boom. Smile for me, daddy. What you looking at? I want to see your grill. You want to see my what? Hindsight always been 20/20. I should have left this piece here a little longer so it would stick right there. Oh well, is what it is. And yeah, that color is not exactly John Deere green, but yeah, close enough. We actually have a grill now. Now I just need to put the side panels on. I think we'll be ready to cut some grass. There you go. Old John Deere, ready for another year's worth of action. Blades are still in good shape, belts are still in good shape, so I didn't see any need to change them, but we got transmission fluid change, oil change, new starter, a whole bunch of new stuff under there that I wasn't planning on doing. So I hope that helps some of y'all out. I hope y'all learned a few things at my expense and your starter change goes smoother than mine did. So until next time, be good to yourself, be good to your friends and neighbors, and I'll see you again soon.